Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
I was getting up and saying something.
Director Scobie is excused. Director Watsman is not present. Director Best.
Here.
Director Rice Walker.
Here.
Director Gray.
Here.
And President Bradley.
Here, we have a quorum. We'll call a meeting order.
Let me see. I can't hear.
We could talk louder. Can you hear now?
Thanks, Gary.
Well, I sure hope you're not recording that.
You would, wouldn't you? Whereas, from communications, whereas the charter of the City of St. Louis grants the Board of Public Service a number of duties
read the
and
charter.
responsibilities, including regulation, investigation, and approval of a variety of important city transactions. And whereas Gary Best has been employed in the St. Louis Department of Parks, Recreation, and Forestry for over 30 years. And whereas he was appointed by the mayor to serve as the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Forestry. And whereas he is responsible for the care and maintenance for over 3,000 acres of park land throughout the city, the operation of 13 year-round and 35 seasonal recreation facilities. And whereas Gary has played an instrumental role in planning and funding the construction of 2 state-of-the-art recreation centers in O'Fallon and Carondelet Parks. And whereas he has developed and implemented citywide programs in the areas of tree care and planting, lot maintenance, composting, and snow removal. And whereas he has served on several municipal, state, and national boards, and among his many awards is the prestigious Keeper of the Park and Laughingwell Award presented by Forest Park Forever. And whereas Gary planned and directed $100 million of capital improvements to Forest Park, and whereas he negotiated and executed several contracts with Barnes and Forest Park Forever, which resulted in $3.8 million additional annual income, and whereas Gary has determined to bring his service to the City of St. Louis to closure by retiring on December 31st, 2014. Now, therefore, it is hereby ordered by this Honorable Board of Public Service that Gary Best be recognized for his years of guidance and direction to the business of this board, and that a copy of this board order become permanent record of this public body. By order of the Board of Public Service, December 16, 2014, Richard T. Bradley, P.E., President; Curtis Scobie, P.E., Director of Public Utilities; Todd Walterman, Director of Streets; Pamela Rice Walker, M.D., Director of Health and Hospital; Richard Gray, Director of Public Safety; and Sharice D. Thomas, Secretary.
I love you, Siri. Mr. President, it's always a pleasure.
From the President. Preliminary approval for letting number 8555, Laclede Avenue Decorative Lighting, Project number R 2014-71013. Preliminary approval for letting number 8559, Concrete and Brick Removal Replacement and Complete Sidewalk Installation, Project number SP94. Preliminary approval for letting number 8561, Concrete and Brick Removal Replacement and Complete Sidewalk Installation, Project number SP95. Okay, contract and bond for letting number 8562, Roadway Improvements, Skinker Boulevard and Oakland Avenue. Addendum number 2 for letting number 8560, Security Upgrades at the Justice Center. Addendum number 3 for letting number 8565, Kings Highway Bridge Construction over Union Pacific Railroad. PSA number 1159, Construction Supervision and Material Testing of the Reconstruction of Taxiway Echo from Taxiway Sierra to Taxiway Papa. the removal of taxiway Echo from runway 624 to taxiway Sierra, and the reconstruction of the North Apron Lima Pad, Lambert St. Louis International Airport. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the board declares as emergency action to make all necessary repairs to Varian Gas Chematograph with mass skeptoscopic at the Chain of Rocks Laboratory. Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that permit for AT&T to bore and place a new fiber cable from an existing manhole at the front of 1641 South Kings Highway, 95 feet east to the front of 1640 South Kings Highway. Also cut and restore a 2 feet by 5 feet slot outside the manhole. From the Director of Public Utilities and Public Safety, joint recommendation that the following permits be approved subject to certain conditions. As follows: LRA to subdivide land at 1722 Preston Place in City Block 1331 North. David and Mary L. Hester to consolidate land at 2935 through 2937 St. Vincent in City Block 2153. Glenn Stalling to consolidate land at 1724 Preston Place in City Block 1331.05. Brian Mask and Fern Rosen to consolidate land at 1720 Preston Place in City Block 1331.05. Diversified Development and Construction, LLC, to subdivide land at 4401 through 39 Clayton in City Block 3970. Recommendation that permit for Crown Development and Construction to consolidate land at 4964, 4964 Rear, and 4960 Fountain in City Block 3765 be denied per Board Order 720. From the Director of Public Utilities, Streets, Parks, Recreation, and Forestry, joint recommendation that permit for Forest Park Forever to landscape and irrigate 3.7 acres of Forest Park located along developer between Forest Park and Lindell, and a new 10 feet wide concrete path along the eastern parcel to connect St. Vincent Greenway to Forest Park. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Safety, recommendation that permit for 2 permits to conduct a festival zone at the following locations be approved: Hilton 360 New Year Eve fireworks, December 31st, 2014, at Keener Plaza and surrounding streets. Commitment Day 5K Run and Walk, January 1st, 2015, at the streets and parks near and around Soldiers Memorial. Now we have the conditional uses.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, members of the board. I'm Bob Gordy, and I'll be representing the building commissioner at today's meeting. Per Board Order 766, transmitted herewith are recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Approval with conditions is recommended for 7 applications: 5409 Cabany, 4018 McCree, 4427 Morganford, 4478 Natural Bridge, 2800 North 14th Street, 4981 Thrush, and 3027 Locust. I request these recommendations be approved as submitted.
Any questions from the board on the conditional uses? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve, please.
So move.
Second.
A motion and seconded to approve. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie is not present. Director Waterman is not present. Director Best.
Aye.
Director Rice Walker.
Aye.
Director Gray.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye. Approved. We have 2 tabled items, and we have no action on either one of those today. So at this point in time, I'll take a motion to accept the agenda, please.
So moved. Second.
Can you call the roll, please?
Previous roll.
Have a call for use of previous roll. Is there any objection to use of previous roll? Seeing none. Approved. Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.